The first thing we do when we actually sit down to speed reading is imagine 2 or 3 separate columns on the page, and we train our eyes to jump between those columns. As it turns out, our eyes are actually incapable of making smooth, gradual movements unless they're tracking a moving object. So if we're moving our visual focus from one thing to another, for example, from one word on a page to the one next to it, our eyes have to make very sharp, precise jumps. And these jumps are called saccades. When you dart your eyes across the room because you see something in your peripheral vision, you're able to move quickly and refocus very quickly. That's a saccade. And the points that your eyes end up on, where they focus and allow the brain to figure out what it's seeing, those are called fixations. In general, average readers do 10 to 20 small saccades per line of text. This means that they're actually making one saccade and one fixation for every word. As you can imagine, this is hugely inefficient because all the time your eyes spend moving is time that they're not sending information to the brain, at least not information that it can use. If you don't believe me, put your hands out in front of you, about 2 hands width apart. Focus on one hand, and then jump over to the other. Do this again and again, and try to notice what's happening while your eyes are in motion. If you do it enough times, you'll realize that your brain is essentially stitching the images together from when you're fixated on either hand to provide an uninterrupted image. But it's not really focusing on taking in any information while your eyes are in motion. This effect is called saccadic masking, or is often called saccadic blindness. To avoid the inefficiencies of becoming effectively blind during saccadic masking, speed readers minimize the number of fixations per line to between 2 and 3 in a normal book, or 4 to 5 in a full-width web page. This means making only 1 or 2 saccades per line on an average paperback book, or 3 to 4 on a full-width web page. The goal is to learn to do this as quickly and effectively as possible, no matter what format our reading material comes in. Of course, we should try to format the text into an appropriate width for 2 to 3 fixations if we have an option. We'll cover e-readers, browser extensions, and stuff like that later, but when formatting the text isn't possible, we try to think in advance during our pre-reading how many saccades will be necessary to efficiently cover the page. And in time, we'll learn how to expand the width of our fixations in order to minimize the number of saccades we need to make. For example, in a small printed newspaper column or on an electronic device such as a cell phone, one fixation is usually enough, meaning that you can focus on the middle of the screen and simply scroll downwards with your eyes. This one trick of jumping in saccades and creating larger fixations is pretty much the gist of what most speed reading classes teach in their 2-hour seminars. It summarizes everything that Tim Ferriss preaches in the PX Method article. And it's the basis for all speed reading. But what's missing in Tim's method is not only the memory skills to ensure high retention, but also the process of optimizing the saccades to reach much higher speeds than even he can claim. So let's jump in and see how we can get past that 450 words per minute with 20% comprehension roadblock. As we go along, make sure to check the PDF syllabus, as the number of games and exercises you're going to need to practice and play every day is going to start picking up. And we'll be offering you a lot of games that will help you master this crucial skill.